G'day everyone, it's Bryan from Hands On Kawasaki and welcome to our tech tip section. Today we're going to have a look at the final drive, or the chain if you like, on your road bike, and just some easy tips on looking after and maintaining your drive chain. Drive chains on road bikes, they need lubricating, they need adjusting. The importance of having a correctly adjusted chain is really important for security and safety on the road. We've got the bike up in the air, we can spin the wheel to check the chain in 3 or 4 separate areas. So first, all I'm doing is placing my finger underneath the chain and pushing it up. Give the wheel half a rotation, find another spot, and we'll check that. And one more, just to make sure that we're not adjusting the chain on the tight spot. We don't need to take the axle nut right off. We just need to back it off 3 or 4 turns so the tension is off the axle. On the left and right side of the swing arm are our chain adjusters. There is a 14mm adjusting nut and also a 12mm locking nut. By placing a spanner on the 14mm and we turn that, we're bringing the rear axle backwards in the swing arm. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. Simple recheck on our same reference point, and we're now perfect. Before we lock everything up, we want to make sure that our chain adjusters are exactly the same, left and right. A simple tip to lock the wheel up to make sure that it stays in alignment when you're locking up the axle nut is simply just a rag. And I've placed that between the sprocket and the chain just to keep tension on the wheel, keeping it forward. So we want to use our tension wrench to put the final tension on the axle nut, and that's the noise we want to hear. Finally, split pin to make sure everything stays secured. So finally we want to lubricate the chain. We've got our aiming nozzle in, which makes it so much easier and a lot cleaner and safer to do. We want to lubricate the pins of the link. So we just spin the wheel and lightly mist the chain. On a daily commuted motorcycle, it would be advisable to lubricate it, or at least inspect it every day. There's nothing wrong with lubricating it. You can over-lubricate it. Simple tip to stop chain lube getting on the tyre if you're worried about it. Common piece of cardboard, place it between the tyre and the chain, spin your wheel, lubricate your chain. You'll need that hand of someone else to spin the wheel for you. Do not run your bike in gear and lubricate the chain. Not a good place to have your fingers going while your engine's running. Ensure the bike's always turned off. There's a good safety tip. Looking after your drive chain goes hand in hand with looking after your sprockets. The more care you give your drive chain, the more life you'll get out of your sprockets. Better value for money and also safer riding. So there you go, there's some valuable tips on looking after your drive chain on your road bike. Hopefully you've picked up some tips on servicing and maintaining your chain, and we'll see you next time.